All right, so one of the big questions that we get is about feeding. How do we feed? How should you feed? What are the different options? So I'm just going to go over one of the probably the most convenient options for feeding bees, especially on like a hobbyist scale, a smaller scale. If you have 1 or 2 hives in your backyard, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 hives. Here at the house, we probably keep, I don't know, anywhere from a dozen, half dozen to a dozen hives in the yard. And with that, I use a lot of entrance feeders, Boardman feeders. And I use those because they're easy. They're easy to monitor. I can kind of see how much food the bees are taking down and how often. It kind of gives me an overall sense of how they're doing. And so I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about what that looks like and how to set that up, because there is a way to do that that reduces robbing and allows your bees to kind of defend that space without a whole bunch of pressure from other local bees. All right, so this is just a standard kind of Langstroth setup, bottom board, box, pretty beat up box, and a top cover. And then this is our entrance. So this will be like a landing board. This is the inside of the hive. And this is a Boardman feeder. It's just got a bunch of perforated holes in the bottom of the lid. This will create a vacuum, and nothing will drip out of this when you go to put it on. And so this would be an incorrect way to set up this Boardman feeder. You don't want access where other bees can come in. What they'll do is they'll walk along this edge and they'll sneak in and they'll get inside and they will kind of turn this corner. If I can pull this out, they'll kind of turn that corner, walk along and sneak in and start feeding from the inside of this Boardman feeder. So they'll walk along the edge. So what we want to do when we set these up, let's see if I can get this put back on here. So we want to set this up where it's flush against this board, and then we want to put an entrance reducer on this hive. And so, you know, if you're going to use a wooden entrance reducer, that's great. And you kind of want to set this up like that. So you want your entrance on one end and you want it sealed off on the other side, on the other end. So your bees will come and go from here and they can defend this entrance pretty well. That's a decent enough space that they can kind of defend that. And then this is sealed off so no robbers can come in from either end. In a lot of our videos, you'll see on a lot of our hives, we have set up with paper towels as entrance reducers. And the reason for that is because it's pretty quick and simple. I can grab some paper towels and I can usually come in here. This is cheap and it's easy. And I can kind of stuff these paper towels in like this. And I can reduce that entrance down pretty quick and easy just by using paper towels. Just like so. And, you know, one whole roll of paper towels, I can come through and do that in a pretty short order and get, you know, several hives reduced down to defend robbing. The benefit to this, in my opinion, using a paper towel, is if the bees need to create more space, they can chew away part of this end and they can pull this out come springtime. So that's kind of why I like paper towels for doing this kind of stuff. You know, again, if you have 1 or 2 hives, an entrance reducer probably works just fine for whatever you would need. Just make sure to cut it down so that it fits in this space. A full entrance reducer goes all the way across from one end to the other. So you will need to cut it down so that you can fit your Boardman feeder in there. That's about it.